Happy Thanksgiving. Here I am, do my own thing on Thanksgiving, and I got some peppermint candy in my mouth from my candy cane. And Manny got to have some too. So I just got done going over and checking on a kitty at her house. Now I'm going back over to my house to get Manny her dinner, spend a little time with her, and let her go to bed. And then I'm going to go over to the other house that I'm watching 3 dogs and, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guinea pigs at their house. And then I'm going to finish making my Thanksgiving dinner, which is a turkey breast, which is almost done, probably like more than 3/4 of the way done. And so turkey, some stuffing, gravy, and some cranberry sauce, the canned, that's fine, and some instant potatoes because I don't feel like making. I love mashed potatoes and gravy and butter. So I'm doing my own little thing, having a great day. It's really nice out. And so I wanted to share, I'm going to start sharing more of my childhood stuff. A combination of paranormal, I mean, back in the day, I don't remember it ever being called paranormal, but definitely it is. Experiences that I've had in my life, my early childhood. I'm gonna call them spiritual experiences because the story I'm gonna talk to you guys about today is an experience that I didn't remember about until I was about 34. When I was thinking about when did my early experiences start, and then this memory, I had this memory that just popped into my head, and I was like, oh my God, that's right. And so I don't know exactly how many times that this experience happened. I don't know if it was just the one time or if there was more than a few or what. But it overall the experience definitely stood out, and then it was confirmed by someone who is able to connect with the beings that or the high energy that I came to feel what it was. It's hard to explain. So here's what happened. So here's another thing. I've done my best to try to think about what age was I when this experience happened, and that's when, as I've been putting the pieces together of all this, sometimes in my mind I feel like I was about 6 or 7, and then other times I feel like maybe I was more like 13-ish. That's why I wonder how many times did this happen, because of that. Because, you know, I don't know how it was for you guys growing up, but sometimes I would move my furniture around in my room, and I'd have my bed over against that wall, and I'd have, you know, the dresser over there, and the stuff over there, or there, you know, against that wall and that wall. And so sometimes, you know, so a memory that I have is when my bed was up against that wall, and so when I'd be laying in my bed, my eyes would be looking over on that side of the room, and all, you know, that kind of thing. So So I remember that it was a night that um, I had to go to bed early, meaning like it was the summertime where the light, where it stays lighter later in the day, and so I had to go to bed early. To me, I mean, it was like I could still hear kids playing outside. I think this sometimes my mom was just sort of done with me and would just like want me to go to bed so that she could just, not have to be concerned with my life or whatever. And so it was one of those nights where you're not even tired. You've gotten ready for bed, you got your pajamas on, brushed your teeth, went to bed, and I was laying in bed, not even tired. And I know that in my life, for lots of different times in my life, where I would, during my childhood and into my adulthood, but in my early years, where I would just sort of be in this awareness of how the heck, how is this possible that this is my life? How is this possible that these two people are being so mean to me? And like, why are they like this? And how come this is happening? And like, I wish I was having a more fun and like enjoying life better, and I wish they were nicer to me, and all that kind of stuff. So I'd have that sort of feeling, basically every day, because every day it was a facade being around these two people. They were just never affectionate, just blah blah blah, all that experience with them. But so I'm laying in bed on my back, and so I'm gonna say it was like 8 at night or something. I don't know, but it was definitely, I could just completely see in my room. And all of a sudden I could sense, this is where, when you're understanding how the inner senses work, you describe, use the description words of sensing, or can tell that there was all of a sudden and non-physical, meaning you can't see it with your physical eyes, but I knew that there was this flowing of energy, flowing of invisibleness, entering my room through the corner ceiling of my room. So this all of a sudden, a flowing of invisible energy coming into the room through the corner ceiling of my room and starting to take up space in my room. And over the years, I've done my best to try to describe what I mean so that you can visualize or understand. And so the best way is kind of like, it was like a genie going into a bottle. So a very large presence or presences coming into my room for the corner ceiling, through the corner ceiling. And in my understanding areas of our structures, that the corners have significance of where energy collects or can come in and out, I guess. That's as best as way I can describe it. By the way, obviously this is my bird. She likes to rub her tail on my head. There's Manny. Say hi, Manny. She's hanging out up there. So anyways, so here comes this, almost, when you pour liquid into a cup and it starts at the bottom and fills up. And so, or like, gosh, what else? How can I describe? Like when you put, let's say, a colored the coloring into water, and it starts to, that color starts to take up the space in the clear water. So it was kind of like that, where this energy was flowing in and then taking up the space in the room. It never covered me that I could tell, but it was going along the side of my bed and up in, just taking up the space around my bed. And then the feeling of this energy was of a very powerful and also just ginormous presence. So and I don't know how long it stayed in my room. I don't remember any of that. And like I was saying, I don't know how many times it happened or if it was just that one time. So this was, I'm going to guess I was 6 or 7. And after this experience, it's like it somehow energized me even more than I already was. In so many ways, meaning like my inner senses heightened even further. I was able to hear the sound of silence louder at night, and sometimes you could maybe have heard it called OM or OUM, which is the primordial sound of the universe. This that sound of silence. It's sort of like a humming, like that. Time started to feel weird to me sometimes, and over the years, as I've gathered as much information as I can about all this, when a person's vibration rises, they will sometimes have these symptoms, and one of them is like you feel like a dizziness suddenly, and I've had that. I started having that more. I've had that occasionally throughout the years, where you all of a sudden a quick like dizziness feeling or a strange feeling in your head, or and sometimes time would feel strange all of a sudden. Sometimes it felt sped up and sometimes slowed down, and I was just trying to handle this while just being a kid, being at school or hanging out with friends or playing my sports or activities or whatever, and this stuff. And it's not, I don't know how to explain it. I knew it was real. I mean, I didn't ever think that it wasn't real. It just was. It was like no different than me looking up and seeing clouds, or looking over and seeing something physical that you can clearly see there. I never once doubted. It didn't even occur to me. It was just what was happening. I knew it was unusual. And so, so that happened. And so years later, so that was, let's say, so if I think it started the first time, or if that was the only time, like when I was 6 or 7, so that's like 1976, 1977, 1978, I don't know, somewhere in there that happened. And then in 2001, I was able to talk to, I think it was 2001, a woman who, in her own experiences, connects with archangels. And so, actually, I'm going to back up a little bit. In 2015, I went to a spiritual study school where we studied, went deep down studying of metaphysics and energy healing and who we are, the spiritual side of ourselves, where we come from, consciousness. about angels and archangels and connecting to them and spirit guides and, you know, this sort of thing, which I'd already been studying about before that, but just, you know, additionally, you know, learning about angels and archangels, etc. And so I wondered at that point if who visited me was an archangel. So when you are in your what's called psychic development or inner senses development, and you're taking classes and you're practicing, and, you know, either you're the one doing the reading or you're the one receiving the reading, and you're getting to have these confirmations and confirmations and verifications that what you experienced, that someone else also saw what you saw or is able to connect with what you were connecting with, that kind of thing. It's very helpful. And so in 2021, when I was talking to the woman who connects with archangels, I asked her if she could ask them if they were who was in my room. And so she confirmed yes, and she was able to tell me the 2 specific archangels that came to me to help me, and to be with me in my room. And throughout my life, I have had other experiences with archangels and angels and spirit guides, and so it's and ascended masters. So she told me that the 2 archangels that came to visit with me, to be with me, to help me, was Metatron and Sandalphon. And when you have an experience, it just happens all of a sudden. You can want to have an experience. You can do certain things so that you do have an experience. You do have a connection. But when it happens, it's just happening all of a sudden. And so over the years, I've learned how to, you know, when you're in the moment of it happening, that you can then be ready for it and engage with it. But when you're at the beginnings of things like this, sometimes you have no idea what you're supposed to do with the information, or what now, and, you know, etc. So anyways, I wanted to, you know, add that to my this is going to go on my YouTube channel, Exploring the Paranormal with Trisha Brown. And so if there's anyone out there that has also had these experiences or wants to tell me more about what they may be picking up on about all this and share, I would love to hear it. And Manny is going to go explore in the car, so I'm going to get back up here. So anyways, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. And more to come. Bye.